Moment of silence. Roll call.
Counselor Crum. Present. Counselor Matthews.
Present.
Counselor Coast. Here. Counselor Chamberlain.
Here.
Counselor Allen.
Here.
Counselor Sturts.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
Motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Allen and second by Counselor Coast. Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Counselor Coast.
Yes.
Counselor Sturts.
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Counselor Matthews.
Yes.
Counselor Crum.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Now, first committee, anybody wants to talk here? Okay. Park board.
Yes, we met a long time ago. I think February 12th. We spoke about many different issues. And one of those issues was the Wings Over Wauseon celebration that's being led up by Tim Sepsi. And the park board will be inviting Mr. Sepsi to future meetings, so the park board can be kept up to date on the happenings with in reference to the Wings Over Wauseon. Dave Murray brought to our attention a church had contacted him about using the Miami shelter house for a 7-day event at a reduced rate. The park board discussed the request and decided to offer the Miami shelter house to that group at a reduced rate, at actually half price. The board also discussed changing the tennis court lights from yellow to white, which was assumed to be an upgrade, having no real tennis pros on the park board weren't certain, so Dave was going to do some more checking to make sure the tennis players would be happy with that change. I've since spoken with a few tennis players, and they're pretty pumped about the idea. In fact, some of them commented that they go elsewhere to play their evening tennis because the lighting is so poor here in Wauseon. So Dave's getting us prices on just changing the light fixtures at the tennis courts. The board also discussed placing a bike rack down at the Imagination Kingdom, the new playground down at Reard Park. Some discussion the park board had was using some of the old bike racks that maybe the city still owns, and the park board is also interested in seeing some pictures and some price quotes of new products. So Dave is also working on getting that information to park board. And so I think the only recommendation we have tonight is what we do. Would we have a recommendation on reducing the shelter house, or is that just a decision made by park board?
That would be just an individual
Decision. Okay. So we would have no recommendations tonight, but hopefully that's a good summary for everybody about park board happening.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a timer or something on those lights down there?
Great question.
You know,
Do not know.
my location where I'm at, I see that they're on all times of the wee hours of the morning, so I'm just kind of
Yeah.
curious.
I'll inquire about that.
Or maybe you might have to put a light switch on both sides or something, so when they leave, they can turn them off.
Yeah, tennis course lights. Sure.
I think there is. They're only supposed to, once you turn them on, they're only supposed to be on for so long, and then they turn off. So maybe it's malfunctions.
I was just curious, like I said, you know, if you happen to get up, you know, when you're older, sometimes in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You should walk over there, Fred, check that out.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm afraid of the dark.
The lights are on.
The lights are on. Jeez.
All right. Utility committee.
The utility committee met on last Thursday morning to discuss the impending water rate increase and sewer rate increase that are scheduled for April 1st. This is the next to the last scheduled increase. There will be one more on the books for next April. We reviewed the fund balances and the projects that we have going on for this year, and given that the fund balances are stable right now, but we don't know what the projects are going to cost us this year, we have opted right now to recommend that we delay this increase to November and we will meet again in September, October to check the costs, the expenses that we've had between now and then, and to determine whether we can cancel the one that's scheduled for this year, or if we'll need to let it go into effect. If it goes into effect in November, the water rate increase would be 5%, the sewer rate increase will be 15%, and those are the same increases that we will see next year for the last year. The other two issues that we had brief discussion about is the sewer project at Latrobe Specialty Metals out on County Road H, just an update there. And also the county water plan we talked about that does not directly affect us at this moment, but may sometime down the road. So the recommendation that we have right now is to delay the scheduled legislated water rate and sewer rate increase from April to November.
All right, thanks, Karen. Motion to accept the utility committee's report and its recommendation.
So just before we go there,
Okay.
Karen, so the balances are sound,
Mm-hmm.
things are going in the right direction.
They are.
Okay. That's all, thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept their recommendation.
Second. Motion made by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Coast. Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
I'm gonna vote no, not, just because I don't like the language of delay. I'd rather use the language of cancel, so I'll vote no.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
5 yeas, 1 nay, motion carries.
Thank you. On the department head reports, David?
Since our last meeting, I met with the City Revolving Loan Fund Committee as it concerns Don's automotive group. Don has went through the application process. We met with the committee. They approved what he was requesting for the funds. He had promised that at least 8 to 10 jobs would be created from his renovation and upgrades to the dealership. I went ahead and did the environmental review and loan review report submitted to the state. The state has returned that and approved and released the $200,000, so those funds will be available for him. I'm continue to work through the program so I can get everything to him so we can do the proper reporting throughout that process with him doing the updates to his business. I did notice that there was a tax abatement application mixed in with his paperwork, so I'm going to be working through that with him also, making sure that he meets that criteria so we can award that to him. Also, as it deals with tax abatement, I have been working with the state also with the community reinvestment area and enterprise zones 2012, doing the annual reports for that, and those are completed, updated, been sent into the state, and they have contacted me to let me know that they have received those reports. I did some reporting, updated, made sure that everybody was still in compliance with the tax abatements, updated address information, updated any business changes to the property, and that's about it.
All right, thank you. Chief Tarbett?
Well, for those of you that came in through the front door, our new car came in today. We'll be taking over to Statewide in Vanward to be outfitted in the next week or two, and then Stripe should be on the road by 1st of April. Also want to thank Fulton Suites. It's a residential assisted living portion of Fulton Manor. They made a donation to Safety City, the first one of the year. The residents raise money through a rummage sale and donate money to different causes throughout the city. So I want to thank them for that. Also, to let you know, we've applied for the JAG ARRA grant. That's the American Revitalization Restabilization grant.
Say that again, Chief.
That's leftover money from the 2009 ARA stimulus project. It is for up to $30,000 to purchase new vehicles, or over time we've went for the new vehicle. There's a small pot of money available, so I'm not sure if we're going to get it, but we've done pretty good so far this year. We've got the regular JAG grant, we've got the JAG LE, as well as the VAWA grant, and approaching $100,000 in grants for 2013 so far. That's it.
Thank you. Dennis?
Not a lot this evening. I do want to call council's attention to two resolutions, 2013-3 and -4, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with, these are general services agreements with a couple engineering firms, one being Arcadis Malcolm Carney and the other being Peterman Associates. Wanted to get these two going and hopefully passed under suspension because we have pending projects with those firms. Need to get underway for this year. Beginning to wade through the rest of the submissions to for engineering firms, and based on their merit, we'll have probably more legislation coming to you at the next meeting. That's it.
Thank you. John?
I distributed the financial information for the month of February, and you notice I highlighted the fact that the general fund revenues are greater than expenses year to date, so the general fund continues to go in the right direction. I also wanted to share with you this larger spreadsheet is how I track the local government fund. And if you recall, 2 years ago, when the state was putting together their budget for this 2-year period that we're just ending, this one we were going to have the 25% decrease in the first year and then move it to a 50% decrease. So when you started over here with the red figures, that was where the beginning of the biennial budget began. And you can see we had a $70,000, almost $71,000 decrease in funding last year, and now we've got the remaining 6 months of the state's 2-year budget. And as they're putting together the budget for the next 2-year period, they've said that they are not going to cut any more LGM. So, in fact, Mr. Gardner, I believe, even alluded to that when he was here. So I wanted to show you in actual numbers how that has affected us. And now we'll get that period behind us and move on. That's just one part of the general fund funding. Our income tax is up slightly, $22,000 as of the first 2 months. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Tom?
We put together finally the draft documents for the transfer of the bike trail for the 2 portions that we've been discussing with NORDA. And I'll be forwarding those documents on to the Rails to Trail folks for their review, and hopefully that conveyance will take place within the next 3 or 4 weeks. Again, it's the 2 portions that I think it's from, excuse me, 11 to 13 and then 16 out to where the bike trail crosses Airport Highway. I think it's between 20 and 21, wherever that is. But they're apparently the folks, that group is meeting in the next couple of weeks, and we wanted to get the documents to them for review. And also just a quick word on the ordinance that's before you this evening. This is our first of the year. This typically, our custom is when council approves a recommendation of a committee that necessitates a resolution or ordinance, we wait to the next meeting to do that. But because of the shortness of time, we put together this particular ordinance, 2013-1, which postpones the water and sewer rate hike to take effect from April to November. And again, did that so there could be at least a first reading, and then next week could be read on emergency. At least we have 2 readings that way on it. But it's just consistent with what the recommendation was. I guess that's it. Got my annual report in, or my report into the mayor. Good.
Thank you.
Just in time.
On to first reading the legislation, ordinance 2013-1, modifying the rate schedule for water and sewer rates for the city of Wauseon.
So-
Motion to place ordinance. First reading.
First reading.
Motion made by Counselor Crum and second by Counselor Allen. Is there any discussion? Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Due to my objection stated earlier, I vote no.
Counselor Coats?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
5 yeas, 1 nay. Ordinance 2013-1 passes on first reading.
Resolution 2013-3, authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with Arcadius for engineering services. And we need a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules on that.
Motion made by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Crum. Is there any discussion? Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coats?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Matthews. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2013-3 passes on suspension and will be in effect in 30 days.
Resolution 2013-4, authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with Peterman Associates Incorporated for engineering services. And here again, we need a motion to suspend the rules.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Allen and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
There are no second readings.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Crum. Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2013-4 passes on suspension and will be in effect in 30 days.
There is no second reading of legislation, so we'll move on to third. Resolution 2013-1, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with O.R. Cole and Associates of Florida, LLC, for real estate acquisition and right-of-way services for the Linwood Street rebuild project.
Third reading.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Allen. Is there any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2013-1 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
On to new business, we have motion to approve the expenditure for the law enforcement policy manual and daily training bulletin services for the Lex Pool for the $5,400 from account 210.101.52391.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Mayor's report, probably the most exciting thing that's happened all year.
Yeah.
Word for word, Mr. Mayor?
You said read that tonight, Don?
I'm asking you to read it word for word.
Negative.
Seems like it gets thicker and heavier every year.
We're on the move.
Does look pretty good.
Don wanted me to read this, I had to have something to read. We'll just go over the front page. You know, the city's doing a lot better than we have in the past couple of years. Maybe I should reframe that. We're doing better. I don't know if we're doing a lot better, but we're, you know, listening to John, and our income tax is going up with slight increases. Unfortunately, the state's cut down some of their money, but, you know, through the last year and a half, 2 years, we've been pretty thrifty and watching what we are doing. So, you know, we are seeing some rewards from it. But 2012 continued to be a challenging year. City income tax revenue has increased, but expenses have also. Wauseon is taking a very conservative approach to our spending, and the rewards are starting to show. And some of the things that's accomplished this last year, the Wauseon Fire Department put on their first 4th of July fireworks show. There were six fire personnel that took pyrotechnical training and became certified to perform the fireworks show. The fireworks show was an accomplishment through fundraising and donations. And I would like to comment, it was a great deal, the fire department. Fred, you guys stepped forward. For the people that wasn't there, it was a dynamite show. It was a perfect night. And I just can't imagine getting any better than this year. So good luck going forward. The Imagination Kingdom was constructed in Reard Park that replaced the existing playground equipment. This project was started in 2001 and finished in 2012. It's a great example of how citizens of the community can work together to achieve their goals. This is a great accomplishment for Wauseon and for Bonnie Greaser and Gloria Gunn that spearheaded this. It was a wonderful turnout from those people, the donations, and the committee that built the facility. 4 new ball diamonds have been completed at Biddle Park. I don't know if they'll be in service this year, but the fencing's all up, so they're ready to go. The wet weather basin and sludge storage project for the Wauseon Reclamation Plan has been finished. The cities continue to work with Revell Planning and Economic Development. Glenn is continuing to work with his downtown revitalization district to attract more businesses in the area. The planning continues for Linfoot Street construction that is scheduled for 2015. And also I'd like to thank working with the city council, the law department, and the city employees for having a productive, great year. Don, if you want to read any more, you can read later on.
Okay.
So, that being said, I'll take a motion to approve the bills.
Can I add something for new business?
Sure you can.
Thank you. And I'm looking through this year-end report, and I've talked to several people, and several people have approached me about the position of the fire department. I know that, Mayor, we've talked a couple times about the position of the fire department, and I think I just want to throw out there that I know we're trying to let things settle down a little bit, and I can respect that. But when you tread water for so long, you either have to move forward or you're going to drown. So I think my question is, how soon are we going to move forward? And then along with that, we have an ordinance in place that says that we have to have a full-time fire chief. In looking through what's been presented by all the departments, looks fantastic. There's statistics along with a written synopsis of what the year has brought, except for the fire departments. And I know that Fred is doing the best he can do, and the other fire people that are stepping up to the plate, they're doing the best that they can do, but on a part-time basis. From my experience, no matter what discipline you're in, over the past 10 years, things have changed dramatically as far as administrative responsibilities and the cover your butt responsibilities. And I don't know if a part-time chief is going to be able to handle that. At this point in time, what I see is that we've got part-time people on staff, and this is what we get. And I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it tells the complete picture.
Okay.
You know, I've had several people approach me about this, and they all show a great concern for where's the vision of our fire department and what is the mission. And even looking through some of this ordinance stuff, there's constitution bylaws. When's the last time the bylaws have been looked at? That's all the administrative stuff that I'm talking about, that it's overwhelming sometimes, and for a full-time person. For a part-time person, I don't know how they would get to that, and it's something that really has to be,
You know, to answer your first question, no, we're not gonna ground Heather. Am I gonna give you a day of April 15th, we're gonna have one? No, it's gonna happen soon. But we are gonna go back to a full-time chief. But also in the charter and the code, there is, you know, where when the chief of police or chief of fire chief is absent, the assistant is in charge. So, I mean, it's not gonna last forever. So we're gonna go forward and get another chief. But to give you an exact date, soon.
that's okay. I don't need an exact date, and I don't think anybody expects an exact date, but just to know that that's in place,
Yeah.
and and we are going to move forward as the city, the only city that is, you know, in the county. I think it's imperative that we do.
Sure. I can't disagree with you.
move
It's
forward
gonna
with
happen.
that.
I'm glad to hear, Mayor, that that's your decision.
Sure.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, and our fire department does a great job, and they step up and they take initiative and do things like the fireworks.
They do a great job.
I have another question. Is the position in Public Works going to be filled?
Right off the top of my head, I say not immediately. Going into the summer, I talked to Dave and Dennis, and I think if, you know, we need part-time, I think it's great to bring part-time people in to run lawnmowers. It makes more sense for that. But, to go out and do it right away, we'll see what shakes out, Don. So. Anything else? Motion to approve the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Sturts. Counselor Coast,
Yes.
Counselor Sturts.
Yes.
Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Counselor Matthews.
Yes.
Counselor Crum. Yes. 6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
No problem.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Coast for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.